about the Lakers like, ooh, this is their conference to lose. You know how the hyperbole is.
Oh gosh, I
with
mean
the
that's
Lakers.
ridiculous.
Exactly. Like how much excitement should I take in this first game?
Okay, so forgive me, but I'm just not there yet with the Lakers.
Okay,
that was impressive yesterday, and things could be breaking right for them, considering we still don't know the status of Ja Morant. He took a hard fall, Perloff, and his right hand that had already gotten banged up in the game obviously forced him to leave the game in the fourth quarter. If he can't play, I know that you can give you the record of, Memphis without Ja Morant, and they play well without him and all that nonsense when it comes to the playoffs. That cannot be. You can't say, oh, we're going to take our best player and he's going to be out, and all of a sudden now we're at a strength. This is not some Ewing theory thing that's going on here with Ja Morant. And on top of that, when you put together like last year how, the Memphis Grizzlies had a really good record when Ja Morant was out, well, they weren't also suffering the injuries that they're suffering now. Like, you look at what's going on with Memphis, and they are already thin on the inside. Don't get a lot of, listen, Jaren Jackson Jr. was really good yesterday, but...
that's what I was about to say. Who's the best player on the Grizzlies?
Because maybe it's Triple J, but they are... It's not, though. It's Morant. But here's the thing. They're already thin and down. So this could be breaking right here for the Lakers. But call me skeptical that this could actually continue for Los Angeles. Right now, you need every part of that Anthony Davis. That Anthony Davis that we watched yesterday, that is the guy who has an unlimited ceiling. That's what you want. The guy who's blocking shots on the defensive end, running the floor, there to clean up all these offensive rebounds, putbacks, all that stuff. But one turn tweaked ankle. Listen, he even got hurt in the first half yesterday, and to his credit, came back.
He said, and they caught Mike saying, I can't feel my arm.
I can't feel my arm.
Like Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack 1.
Yeah, right.
I can't feel my arm. I thought it was really interesting. Is he an overreactor, or he really could not feel it? Did he have a stinger or something? I don't know what was going on. But thank God for the Lakers, he came back. I said this last week too, Maggie, when you weren't here.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm most excited about the Lakers, and it's also, we saw this yesterday, it's the contenders in the West are so questionable. Memphis, you'd think would be a contender, but you saw yesterday why Ja Morant, he seems to play, he's a little bit reckless. Like, he could get that kind of injury anytime. And they don't have Steven Adams, as you noted.
Yep.
You saw Phoenix lost their first game. Golden State lost their first game. So who is scaring you in the West? Denver is really the only really scary team that looked impressive in game one. So I still think, because of parity in the West, it feels very open for the Lakers. Okay,
but I just ask you, this is a fun Lakers lineup. Give credit to Rob Pelinka. They've really turned this team around. Stu's a big Laker fan. The depths got pretty scary, right? But
it was rough.
It was rough. Vanderbilt, though, with Reeves now, this has been interesting. And then you have Hachimura, who's coming off the bench with 29 points yesterday, hitting 5 of 6 threes. But, are you getting that? Are you getting another Hachimura game?
First of all, there's never been another Hachimura game.
Maybe at Gonzaga. I don't remember a pro Hachimura game.
You're getting a Reeves game like that, because Reeves is now really, really good.
Okay.
I don't know how Reeves is so good taking the ball to the hole. So that part wasn't an anomaly. But you're saying they're dependent on Hachimura and these. They have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They have LeBron James.
No, I get they have LeBron James, and LeBron was good yesterday. He
was okay, right?
He was good. He had 21 points. He took 16 shots. He played 34 minutes. But they didn't actually. It wasn't like a LeBron game. They didn't need him to close it. They didn't. It wasn't like that. It was more of a team game. So credit them. But I just don't see this holding on, even in a wide open West. Color me skeptical. Now,
okay, but if they win the series, especially with Ja a little banged up, I think Ja's going to be fine. Then they're going to play the winner of Golden State Sacramento. Yep. They might be favored in that series. Let's be realistic. I don't think being favored by Vegas means everything, but there's a chance that, and if I told you in January the Lakers might be favored in the second round series, that would sound crazy.
It
but
would.
That's where we are right now. I think there's a lot of, you have to admit, Maggie, the tide is growing. There are a lot of people who are jumping on this bandwagon. It feels, I think it's a function of the West, but it feels like the Lakers have a real chance here. And after yesterday, seeing Hachimura and Reeves do that, you have to be really excited.
You do if you're a Laker fan. I'm not all the way there yet.
Is this because I've been bragging about betting on them?
No, nothing like that. I'm hoping you win a lot of money because somehow if you win money, maybe somehow it trickles down to the show. Maybe we get a lunch out of it. I don't know. We're going to Kansas City soon for the draft. Maybe we get a dinner.
It wasn't.
I know the finals won't be over at that point. But
I keep on saying 40-1, but I never say how much money I put in on that 40.
I assumed it was $200,000.
It was far less. It was not Mattress Mac money. It was far less. Then I doubled down at plus 2,200, which isn't as good. Let's put it this way: I'm not going to lose my mortgage if the Lakers lose, and I might be able to buy us lunch. That's about how much money it was.
I'll take a might be able to buy us lunch. I'll take that. This is what's good for you is good for us.
Okay. I'm not going to even let you think about this. I just want your instant reaction. If you had to pick a team in the West right now, based on what we saw this weekend, who is the team that jumps into your head first?
Sacramento.
I thought you were going to say Denver, by the way.
Denver looked great, but I also don't. How much of a fight is Minnesota putting up right now? Rudy Gobert just is not, you say this all the time. Yeah. He is just not somebody who can be basically on the floor in the playoffs, and you basically traded the future of your franchise for him. It makes no sense. I feel like they don't deserve to win because of that.
Yeah.
You made an idiot move.
They really did not show up for game one, but they look really good against the Lakers for most of the play-in game, and they look good in the second play-in game. I don't know. Yeah, I think Denver being healthy and Jamal Murray showing that he can be Jamal Murray of old, I think they're the scariest team right now, but I'm sticking with the Lakers.
Well, they also get the real home court advantage, too.
Yes.
Especially in a game one situation, you're going to, because of the altitude, you're going to have a natural boost there.
Oh, man. So I want you to sort of embrace the Sacramento Kings. I want to be part of that.
There.
That energy is so fun.
I know. I want to be part of it.
They're the darling. If you are impartial, how can you not root for that team?
And it's funny because I think a lot of people feel that way about the Warriors. I think that was the Warriors when they were the upstart Warriors. Right. It was like, oh, who is this young, fun team? I mean, that feels like a while ago now. Now they're the established, dynasty. But the young, fun team that had the good energy and passed the ball a lot and seemed to actually like each other. Now, they're the old guard. Yeah, they're still somewhat likable. That's a good point. But then Draymond sort of punched a teammate and a lot of different things happened. By the way, I'm absolutely in love with the parts of the Kings. I love Fox, so I am a Sixers text thread, and I guess the Sixers could have drafted Fox and did not, but Malik Monk has always been my guy. Where did that game come from? If he could do that, I mean, we're winning the title, us Sacramento Kings. Oh, yes, yeah. Now you have them, 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. You want to get involved in our conversation? Let's do it. How about our pal Jay is in Alabama, wants to praise Perloff. Oh, Jay, go ahead. Yeah, baby.
Well, okay. First of all, welcome back from Margaritaville. And,
thank you.
I'm sure the donkey shows were excellent down there. And,
wasn't in that part of Mexico, Jay. Just in the happy part.
Oh, okay, but Perloff, I thought you had been spending too much time with us Weirdos by even making that prediction. I mean, I'm sure if somebody listened to you, I'm sure you made somebody money, off of that game alone. And it looks like they're going to win the entire series. So, I mean, especially with Ja being out like that, and I saw that twist of the hand, like how he landed on that. Yeah. Believe me, I don't think he's not, and that's a shooting hand. So, I really think it's a wrap. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I've already thought of Memphis as like fool's gold, like shiny on the outside, but lead on the inside. But I kind of fell for the whole thing of the Lakers being old and the Snapcat bandit that they got over there. But it looked like he's gonna hold up this whole playoff. And I mean, that was just a bold prediction that came through. I got to congratulate you on that one.
How about that, Jay?
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you so much.
The way Jay says that, it makes it sound like it's a rare occasion, which is not completely untrue. Jay's like, yeah, I got to give you credit, man.
Keeping a blind squirrel gets a nut.
Yeah, I hear you, Jay. The week you were off last week, I was bragging a lot. I really felt good about the Grizzlies matchup. And it wasn't as much about the Lakers. I kind of agreed with Jay that it was not fool's gold, but that they're younger. And if you take out any piece, and here's the bottom line. Ja Morant took, 8 days to recover from his personal crisis? Yeah. That can't be long enough.
Well, I mean, we talked about it at the time, right? Like how much soul searching and deep kind of work on yourself can you do in 8 days? Like, if that's really true, and he has now found like a whole new way of living or whatever, or fixed whatever was going on in his private life, like, he should be a self-help guru and spread this gospel to everyone on the planet. Yeah,
I mean, he's very young. I have given him a great chance to someday be a great NBA player, but this has been a hard year.
It has been tough. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Let's go to Mark in Miami. What's up, Mark?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
One thought on the Grizzlies and then Majito. As funny as it may sound, I think Grizzlies can still win the series because let's not forget the Grizzlies' record without John Morant is incredible. I mean, they're probably the only team who plays just as well without their superstar without him. And they've been, besides the turmoil, he's missed a lot of time, and the Grizzlies continue to roll, obviously. I think Jaren Jackson is the key, and they got a great backup point guard in Tyus Jones. And let's not forget, it was a one-point game with about, 3 minutes left, and then they went on that awesome run, 15-0, with Reeves hitting all those daggers. And Rui Hachimura, I don't think Hachimura is going to go off for 30 points the rest of the series, but I thought that this would be a 7-game series, and I'm going to write about it. I think in terms of the Heat here, I think if they have a limited Giannis, that's going to be a bigger factor for them because the Heat are, I think, a much tougher team. And even though they lost Hero with a broken hand, I think you saw with playoff Jimmy Butler, he's going to be an incredibly tough matchup. And they only can rely on Chris Middleton and Holiday to create, and they don't really have much. And if those guys are cold, as you saw with the Heat, they can take over games. So I thought the Heat would lose in 6. Now I think they could possibly win the series. I think Giannis is still going to be back. But what are your thoughts in terms of a limited Giannis there? I'll take your thoughts on that. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm not into the Bucks without Giannis. And Chris Middleton has been injured a lot, came back. Looks slightly, he had a good game, but slightly out of shape. They do not scare me in the slightest. In fact, I watched that game before Giannis got hurt. I'm not sure the Bucks beat the Heat anyway because the Heat with Jimmy Butler, forget everything that happened in the regular season. He's such a great postseason performer that I think that would have been a dangerous series it could still be a dangerous series for Milwaukee.
Okay, but this is where, Milwaukee's got to be careful here. And I understand it's Giannis, and 2-time MVP, and he goes down, but, and it was early into the game. You can't be that shell-shocked. It did kind of feel like that. It's not like there aren't great players still on Milwaukee or very good players where it didn't almost feel like they kind of folded up the tent a little bit.
Well, yes, it definitely did. But they were already down by double digits before Giannis got hurt.
It was early in the game, though. Every NBA game, you're down by double digits at some point and come back. To me, that wasn't an excuse, and I was surprised. You're at home. The season that the Heat have, I know that the Heat are a different team in the postseason, but it just felt like, all right, so that's it? It didn't ever feel like there was a chance for Milwaukee to win that game, and that didn't seem right to me.
Yeah, but it's funny. I felt like the Heat looked like the better team from opening tap. I thought they might have won that game anyway, which doesn't mean anything moving forward because Milwaukee might have just needed that wake-up call. We know from watching great players, LeBron loses game ones all the time and comes back and wins the series. And
now Miami's going to be without Tyler Hero.
It does seem, and yes, that's huge too. It does seem like Giannis will be back, right? You brought up a great question pre-show. Why was Giannis not back on Sunday? What happened?
So that was my question, right? So he falls down on his back, and he's definitely grabbing at the...
Is that the tailbone? The coccyx?
I think it's colloquially just the tailbone, sure. It's
I was just giving you the proper anatomical term.
Yes, we needed that, Dr. Perloff, so thank you. But
and Pat, I see you giggling when I say coccyx.
That's a good word.
I don't even know. Is that even a word?
Yeah. That's the official word of
That's the official word of the tailbone?
COCYX.
I think it's coccyx.
That's what I thought.
COCYX. Yeah, that's right.
I think it's COCCIX. I could be misspelling it.
COCC?
YX.
Yeah, YX.
Oh, I said COCYX. Whatever.
Okay, so I got the double C. You got the YX. Teamwork. We got it together.
Putting it together. How many people on a radio show does it take to spell a body part?
That's the tailbone, which is the sort of
connected to the hip bone.
Right. It's ancestral. What used to be a tail for humans is now the tailbone. We know. And when you fall on that part of your back, that gets bruised. But my understanding is it's just pain tolerance.
Sorry, I was just thinking about if we still had tails, and it'd be like John Candy from Spaceballs.
Yeah, it'd be very Spaceballs.
He's a Mog, a half man, half dog.
Oh my God!
People come to shake his hand, and his tail wags. It would be terrible.
What's the other one? Shallow Hal, the guy that plays.
Oh yeah.
Jason
That's
Alexander.
Costanza, yeah.
I think that's
He's
where I got it from.
tail.
Yeah.
He's got a tail. It would just be so terrible to have that kind of a tell. You know, it's like you see somebody and your tail starts wagging. It's like, what a dead giveaway. Like, if you're dating or something, it's like, I know I don't like you. It's like, well, your tail's wagging.
Well, I mean, listen.
Yeah, you guys got something else. I don't.
There's other things. If you're checking out, there are other dead giveaways.
But I can't see that, and I don't want to see that. This would be, I can't help but see it. Right? All right.
Yeah. I just remember, for that other thing, when you're a 7th or 8th grader boy, that is a constant panic. You always you walk around the halls with a Trapper Keeper notebook over your lap.
It's like, why is everyone playing the cello?
Yeah.
I needed the biggest instrument I could.
That is, that's the worst fear of when you're a young kid.
Well, I think also because, correct me if I'm wrong on this one, and I don't want to get into a gross territory here that's inappropriate, but also your fashion at that point has not evolved. Like, kids that age are still wearing sweatpants and mesh shorts and stuff like that.
I think you're right. We're not wearing the protective jeans.
Right. You need some cover. I'm sorry. Listen, I've got a 3-year-old. At some point, we're going to have to go through this, and I'm going to have to buy him some really heavy denim. You know? Something like that.
Good luck. Pearl's performance pants.
And Pearl's performance pants.
Yeah, that's why I think that everyone wears those sort of training pants.
Oh, that's why men started wearing leggings?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Finally, we've cracked the case. What were we talking about? The Lakers?
Talking about Giannis's coccyx.
Oh, right, Giannis. Okay, so here's my question about Giannis. So obviously that hurts. I'm not going to question Giannis's pain tolerance or anything like that. But generally, guys come back after that, don't they? If it's just a bruise, the x-rays came back clear, I guess is how Budenholzer put it. Yeah,
I think he's fine. I'm reading, nobody actually reported that he landed on his tailbone except me.
You watching the game on your couch thousands of miles away.
Okay, no, he apparently took a back tailbone injury. As far as I understand that part of the body, it has to be a bruise. It wasn't a structural injury. So that'll go away in a couple of days. That's happened to me. I've fallen on that part of the body. It just hurts. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't go back in. But this is good. You saved him minutes. He'll be totally fresh. The Bucks are probably going to run him off the court in game 2.
I don't know. Mark in Miami seems pretty confident about his Miami Heat